John, you're going to early mornings this year. That's a big change?
Well, yeah, and you know, you guys that have been around practice, you know, people probably know the afternoon sessions have, with our class schedules, have just gotten, it's just hard to practice. You know, we had guys, Brad Sampson last year probably practiced 2 hours a week. We're just losing so many guys with the class schedules the way they are here now that we just are not able to really get through some afternoon things. We decided to try, some people around the country have tried the morning workouts. We have done that. We've been doing it since January, since they came back to school. The first thing in the morning, we've been lifting and running and doing their conditioning. We try to get our study halls done then, and then go to the classes through the afternoons and those kind of things. So it has been completely different for us. I think our guys have handled it as outstanding. I think this winter conditioning so far has been outstanding. It just has become it's just become really a nightmare with the class schedules and getting guys coming and going from practice at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And some of the upper level classes our kids are in, they're completely missing whole days of practice. And I don't know for sure we're even looking at in the fall practicing in the morning because of class schedules. It's made it a little bit difficult. Obviously, it's 6:15, 6:30 out there in the morning. It's still pretty cold in Northeast Ohio. So I wish that indoor building was built. It's not yet. But that would be, you know, I mean, that's when you're looking at those kind of things. It's critical because it's what you have to do. And we're looking at even doing it maybe in the fall. You know, again, to think that you took your captain and your starting senior, and you know he was in practice maybe 2 hours a week during the season is very difficult. That's a lot to ask for a young person. So that's what we've done. It's been great. You know, our guys have really handled it. The first week they were kind of complaining a little bit. And it was different getting up in the morning, but I think now I think it's gone very well. So we'll see. You know, it's been a little, again, as we've gotten out in the last, you know, we were going indoors all winter long. The last couple of days, obviously on, what's today? Wednesday. On Monday it was really cold. Obviously 20-some degrees out there. Today it's not quite as bad, windy and cold, but that'll be the battle, because usually in the spring you hope that by the 3 o'clock it gets to be warm, and we're not going to be in that scenario. But we just felt like in order to get practices in with as many guys as we could, and we'll still have some guys leave us practice, but not near like we would. So that's been the change, Dan, and that's why.
With Michael and Jarvis, do you expect them to be back for summer camp?
Yeah,
okay.
we do.
John, if you've taken over defensive coordinator, does Brian have any more responsibility with the offense, or do you foresee yourself?
Yeah, he does. And the nice thing, too, you know, just like even the last little bit, again, not coaching a specific position still gives me an opportunity to go down to the other end and coach and be around. I mean, I don't, you know, I'm coordinating the defense, but I'm the head football coach of this team. And how we play on offense, and how we play on defense, and how we play on special teams is my responsibility. I will not lose sight of that by any means. Put more responsibility on Brian. Yeah, we'll meet a little bit more specifically than we maybe were, because I was in a lot of those meetings at nights. I mean, I would, you know, on one night a week I'd probably spend all my night in the offense. The other night of the week I'd spend all my time in defense. I was doing special teams in between. So I always had a really good handle on what was happening. I'm going to have to rely on him more and that staff more to handle, you know, anything that's going on the offensive side of the ball. He and I will set up times during the season to visit and make sure we're all on the same page. But the blessing is there. The trust factor is as high as it can be. Know what we're doing. And the other side of it, when you're coaching defense, you're sitting and watching it every single minute, especially in the spring and summer camp. So when I'm watching film, I'll know what our offense is doing, and I'll know who's doing it well. So there's the other side of that, where sometimes even when I was watching special teams, I wasn't watching offense or defense. Now I'm going to be watching both, maybe better than I was before. So there's some positive to that too.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You touched on Kevin being back. With him and with Dana Brown and with Cameron Keys, I mean, pretty solidified the running backs. Are you comfortable with that?
I'm not ever comfortable with anything. Learned it in this position. But are you correct about having some guys back there that have some game experience? Absolutely. I mean, again, you think a few years ago, Jabari was our leading rusher, had a tremendous, he's battled injury. That's been the one thing with that group. Every one of those guys has battled injury and has not been healthy. And they need to have a great senior seasons for us to be healthy. And that'll be the key. Cam played last year basically because of, you know, those older guys were hurt. And we need those guys to be fresh and healthy. And with our league, as you know, there's not very many guys that make it through the season, you know, but don't miss a game here and there with some shoulders or ankles or something. So we need all those guys.
You touched on the injuries. Was anything changed in the off-season to look at the training because of all the injuries last year, or is that?
Did we change? No. Did we
Was
look at it?
was training changed at all? Because
No, I don't think so. I really don't. You know, you could go back and do all of that stuff. I think it's made us more aware of training. I think to sit and think that we did not study it, pay attention to it, or watch it. But again, some of those injuries, you know, I mean, I think we had 9 knee surgeries, 3 shoulder surgeries. You know, why and how every one of them are all different. You know, Michael Savage got hurt in the Ohio State day diving for a ball carrier. We had 2 broken bones at South Dakota State. I mean, you couldn't have 2 broken bones. I mean, how would you ever, I don't know, how do you figure that out? So I don't, you know, have we studied it and paid attention? Have I done? Yeah, absolutely, as hard as you can. What have I come up with? There really isn't any rhyme or reason in any of it. Will we pay more attention to what we're doing? Absolutely. Will we change, you know, when you talk to other people? I mean, a lot of people go harder than we go. A lot of people go less than we go. So we're trying, you know, are we evaluating some things out there? Sure. But when you talk to people, they, you know, there's folks who practice for 2.5 hours, and, you know, we never practice for 2.5 hours. And they don't have anybody, you know. I mean, so I think it's just seasons. You know, again, we went through the 06 season. I don't think we had a guy hurt. I mean, I don't think our linemen, any of those guys missed a game. Played. So, you know, and I think some of it comes with youth and some of that. But we've evaluated to the nth degree. Have we changed a bunch? No. We've tried to lift harder, get stronger, grow up, those kind of things. Will we be a little bit smarter if we can in spots? Yes. Do you still have to play football? Sure.
Coach, you mentioned the guys playing for summer camp. Is that different, a different approach, or does that amp up the competitiveness, or what's the approach and why the change?
It's just kind of been a, I don't know if it's a change or, it's just an approach. It's just a concept, the fact that, you know, I'm not real, I don't care what the reasons are. I'm not real big on being 4 and 8. That's not really why I do what I do. That's not the ultimate reason I do what I do, but that's not what we're here about. That's not this program. That's not this building. That's not these walls. That's not that locker room. And we're going to do everything we can with everybody we have to make sure that we are doing everything we can. My statement was to those guys is that we are going to bring the guys that camp, that love this place, and are going to go out there and lay it out there. That may be 40 guys. That may be every guy. I don't know that yet. But I'm not trying to create anything or anything, just it's a reality of where we are, that I'm not real happy with last season. I don't care if there was 100 injuries. That's not okay here. And it's not okay for me, and it's just how it is. I don't want it to be okay with them. And that's kind of been the sense of urgency. Approach maybe, change, no. It's just the reality of 4 and 8 is not okay. It's not going to be.